How you doing? So people have been asking me, how does Odin synergy work with Hela and Angela? So first, let's talk about Odin's free fight because it does matter, I believe. So let's talk about the free fight. As you can see here, you gain up to 3 free fights with Odin on the team. So you get an aptitude buff, a protection buff, and shock resistant buff. So it doesn't really matter if you're using the 7 star because it did get nerfed. So we can use the 6 star because it has really the same amount of potency. So when it comes to the aptitude buff, you gain a fury, armor up, and precision buff increased by 15%. So they're going to be 15% pretty much higher potency. When it comes to the protection buff, so you cannot take more than 15% damage from your max health from a single source. This does not include the special 3, and I do believe crits do get bypassed their protection. And then when it comes to the shock resistant buff, you become shock percent 90% shock resistant. So when you have a shock debuff on you, you should be healing from willpower. So keep in mind that it does change its value if you're not using a 6 star and a 7 star. So let's go for the 5 star because I do own the 5 star. As you can see here, when it comes to the 5 star, it's actually lower. So let's talk about their synergy. So this synergy right here, this is really powerful outside of incursion, arguably the most powerful synergy in the game. If you ever see Hela break world records, it's because of this synergy. She just arguably broken with the synergy. So basically when it comes to Hela, she gains a fury buff. And then when Odin's on the team, you gain 2 fury buffs. So you get twice as many fury buffs. So that's going to ramp her up even faster. So keep in mind, you need to have at least a 5 star for this to have. As you can see here, if I use the 4 star, you're not going to see that. When it comes to this synergy, you need to have at least a 4 star. Okay, so what it is. So I do believe this is even more powerful synergy. I would say the most broken synergy in the game. This is only possible in incursion because you can win nearly unlimited fights. If they ever make content outside incursion has unlimited fights, this would be nerfed without a doubt. That's how broken it is. Basically, you gain increased plus 5% buff duration for each fight the team has won. So it doesn't have to be just Hela winning, it could be just the team in general. So let's say you win 20 fights with Hela, that's 100% buff duration increase. So let's say Hela has a 7-second indestructible buff at max sig, so you gotta be at least a 5 star, sig 200 and above, sig 200. So you need at least a 5 star Hela for that. That's going to be an extra 7-second indestructible buff. So that'll be 14 seconds indestructible buff. As you can see, just 100% buff duration, you can see how powerful it is already. So I do think, like I mentioned, like this without a doubt would be nerfed outside of incursion if they ever make content outside of incursion that has unlimited fights. So let's talk about Angela. Okay, when it comes to Angela, you gain plus 5% buff potency for each fight the team has won. So if you win like 20 fights, that's 100% buff potency. Basically, plus 100% buff potency. So whatever your buffs are, like you gain a fury buff, that'll be pretty much twice the potency. Same thing with all the buffs that she gets, like the regen. Whatever regen you get, it's going to be plus 100% buff potency, meaning that the regen will be double the potency, as you see. So especially in incursion, you gain all these buffs. The potency of all the buffs you get in incursion, they'll be double the potency with Angela. And when it comes to Hela, whatever buffs you have, it's going to be double the duration. Like I mentioned, that's why they're the top 2 broken champions in the game. They'll never make content outside incursion that has unlimited fights because of this synergy, because that would without a doubt be nerfed. So hopefully this makes a better understanding how does Hela and Angela works with this synergy. Thor does work too, and you're gonna see some Thor gameplay when it comes to incursion. Thank you.